Hey everyone, how's it going? Happy Tuesday. Um, Today, $212.30. And I'll probably start using this view for recapping trades from now on. But yeah, so far on the month down $82. But fixed risk is good. Was up $600 at one point today, but gave a lot back. I had two losses in a row where they were both halted up. So we'll go through each one in order of when I took them. So starting with ZVSA, this one should have held. I sold a little bit too early, um, but saw it spiking up. This resistance here, this 112, is what I was targeting, and it got there. It spiked up a little bit higher, but ended up selling off. Um, See here, I didn't need to sell. When I did, I could have just held to my full profit target. But regardless, won this trade. I am realizing like this situation where when I'm not in a drawdown, I should be holding to my profit target. There's no reason to sell. Um, Especially if it works out immediately. A lot of the time, I could even move it down a little bit. So I'm starting to realize that, and I might make that adjustment. Um, that was ZVSA. Then we had ZEP. This one was spiking up. I was playing just whenever I was seeing momentum slow. Um, so we had this shorting happening, and I took the short at 4.9, and then dude, huge candle down, basically like $1. Um, but I didn't hold on to it. I just sort of scaled out slowly into it. Eventually, it hit my profit target, which is the start of the move, right? And then I sold the rest of my position. So this was one where dynamic profit taking was better. Um, I would have made 130 if I had fixed profit target, but since I scaled out of it on the way down, I made a little bit more. Um, Next we have PROK, which I should have held in retrospect. I got out early this one, but we were hitting kind of these pre-market resistance levels, and I took the short here. I saw that support was forming, and we had this harsh uptrend action, so I was getting a little nervous, so I got out. But no reason to get out. Obviously, would have hit the profit target. This one had some interesting action today. It kept spiking up and halting up. And I did lose some money on it, so we'll cover that as well. But this was the first trade I took on PROK. So this one should have been a winner, but ended up taking a loss there. Then we have NDRA. This one, I think I traded twice. Okay, no, traded once, right? Yeah. Okay, I traded twice or three times actually. But this is the first trade I took, which was a loss. Same kind of deal. We were spiking up into this sort of area, and I saw momentum slowing, so I took the short, but it ended up breaking out higher, so it hit my stop loss there. And then you'll see in these later trades I actually added into it. So this one was basically as it was showing resistance again. So this was where I got stopped out, and then I entered here. I didn't get stopped out. Next candle, it hit my take profit. And then there was this one as well, which I think I moved my order up because I was nervous about it. Um, Breaking out again. I was just seeing that the 10.5 was holding, so I got a little nervous, but took a short up here. Should have held on to this one as well. Don't know why I sold when I did. So I need to just let them play out and scale out dynamically when I get the opportunity to. Maybe move my profit down if I see it selling off quickly, especially if like what I'm seeing a lot of time is where my take profit is sometimes is like above VWAP. Like if this is like very overextended, my TP will be above VWAP when ATR is showing as low. And so in those situations, I can move it lower because around, VWAP or like in between the upper band and middle band can be some areas where um, would be like a target that's likely to be hit. Next, BTBT. I believe this one. Let me see. Okay, maybe not this one, but there was one where I got out early, but didn't need to. Or sorry, and it was the right move. This was one where I got out early and didn't need to. Same thing, like that, like BTVT. This should have been $130 winner. This should have been $130 winner, and this should have been $130 winner. So I'm leaving like, you know, $300 on the table. So it should have been uh, a $500 day, or even, it ended up being that at one point. It could have even been like a 1K day, but I'm getting out early when I shouldn't. That being said, that $300 would have been negated by a $200 loss that I would have taken on BSLK, I believe, because I got out of this one early and I would have gotten stopped out. That being said, on this next spike up, I definitely could have taken a short when resistance was showing, right? So like at this point at 4 or 4.3 with ATR of 4.4, I mean 4.3 was definitely like a good area to kind of enter, or after this big shorting. Um, like just watching this, trying to play like 4.6, 4.5 and heavy size there would have worked out too. So I got out of this one earlier than my profit target, um, and holding on to it, I would have gotten stopped out. But I definitely could have fired again for another bullet into that resistance, and it would have paid. So yeah, like just you'll notice like a lot of these, not all of them, but a lot of them kind of just not being patient enough. Zep, this one hit the profit target. So took this short as it was spiking up again into this kind of resistance zone. It ended up holding at 4616. So good that I got out when I did. Didn't need to hold this one more. And you'll see it spikes up. I did take this again and took a loss later on in the day. But then we have ASST, which was spiking up quickly. This one like pretty frequently will spike and then have big sell-offs. So it was spiking up, showing that slowing momentum at the 8.6 mark, and in that candle I basically hit my profit target, which was good. So you'll notice like my entries are like pretty solid for the most part, except for those ones that are losers, obviously. But these ones that I have like less than $130 on the gain, the entries are not the best, but I'm impatient. So I'm trying to just get more patient. PROK ended up showing that super bullish price action later on in the day, which got me. And this is when the losses started compounding. So took this short at 158 as this was like gaining momentum into the pre-market resistance, and it just broke out of it, and I got stopped out because my ATR was a little bit tight and it was going really fast. It had really fast upwards momentum with halts up. So got shook out there essentially. So one of those situations where I probably wouldn't have taken the loss if I held and added to it. Then we have WKHS. This one pretty standard. Set like a resistance zone here with this peak in volume from like above 2645. It got up there and I took a short and quick profit taken there. Then ZEP and PROK. This is when I gave back a lot of my profits. Basically at this point, I think I was up 300 or something, or 500. And then I had two $200 losses. So These, like, I still would have taken, to be completely honest. Like, I don't think I did anything wrong for either of these. Maybe a little bit more patient on the entry here, but I should have fired again on this indecision here once I saw that. But I didn't for Zep. But same kind of thing, it was breaking out with volume, but since this happened, I thought it would just happen again here, and it didn't. It halts up and pushes high with pretty crazy momentum. But at this indecision point, um, I need to fire a bullet to make some losses back. And then PROK, same thing, was breaking out, had low volume. So I was like, okay, this can reverse. And it was, halting down. I think it halted down in this candle here. So I thought this would be a false breakout, but it wasn't. And you'll see in the price action, like, keeps grinding higher. And then I took one final trade on PROK up here. So basically, towards the end of the day, I was like, I wonder what's going on with PROK. And I rushed this pretty hard. I don't think I should have taken this trade. So this was kind of a fluke, but it did still work out, and I did still stick to like the risk. But this was definitely like a gamble play, I think, here. I would have liked to get close to 4.6. So this entry is solid. But I was like trying to get into like a scalp down as this is halting down, because you see this kind of action where it like would halt down. I was trying to play this second leg down, but I missed this and thought it would keep coming down and crashing because it was already super overextended, but it was showing support again. So that's a pretty good sign that the entry isn't good. Either way, it worked out. Like, I should have kept it lower. Uh, Again, my profit is 130, and at 106, I got out because I was just worried it was going to squeeze up again with the price action I was seeing. And typically with these stocks where it's like halting up like this, that's what happens. Where there's just huge volatility. Like, it'll it'll swing up and down basically the whole ATR, if not more, in seconds. So it's really hard to act and be precise with those entries, especially when it can wick up and down so fast. You don't want to get shaken out. You don't want to get miss an order when you're sending manual orders. It's tough. Obviously, I had my stops in place, but I was worried I was going to get wicked out because of that action. But overall today, pretty good. I think I took so many trades. Like, this is a lot of trades for a day, but there was so much action going on. At this point, though, I need to stop. Like, because after 7:30, my win rate kind of goes down. There's more trend movement, and if you've been watching these videos for a while, I say that a lot, and it's true. That's why I took these losses here. I fully believe that I need to be more patient after 7:30 and wait for signs of reversal instead of just getting in when I would before that. So anyways, that was today's recap. Got a bit eaten up by commissions and stuff. Let me actually just check that number real quick, see how much I paid in commissions. I think it was $30, $35. So obviously that's a factor too. When you think about it, that's like 10% of my profits, if not more, which isn't good. And so that's why when I see $600, I need to just walk away and not overtrade. But yeah, it could have been a really, really solid day. There was a lot of money I left on the table. I would say like a good $300 I left on the table. But you live and you learn. Maybe even more than that, like maybe like four. But yeah, I just need to trust myself. I think continue to fire when I see the right opportunities, when I see the indecision, and it'll pay for me. I'm seeing that, more. Um, it's just when I have consistent losses, like, um, I'll see here, like, 3 red days in a row where I'm like, okay, this is kind of tough, but um, yeah, I need to just keep firing, keep this same um, mindset, and continue to like hand pick those good opportunities, and I'll be good. But yeah, thanks for watching, and peace. Also, I just want to say I appreciate all the new subscribers and views recently. It's pretty cool that people are tagging along for the journey. If you're interested in, being in the Discord, have it up here. Um, I like kind of post my trade recaps in here, and kind of we just talk about trading. A lot of these people are like asleep most of the time, I think. But I also have this channel where I coded a bot that sends messages when I take trades. So if you want to tag along for the journey, you could, and I might start doing more stuff in my Discord. But that link's in the description if you're interested. Other socials are in the description if you're interested. Yeah, peace.